Hey everybody, and welcome to another deep dive. Today, we're going to be looking at a single source. It's a speech about navigating life and how to succeed and all that, and it's pretty long. So our challenge is going to be how to, boil it down to the essentials.
Yeah, it's a lot of metaphors and stuff in there. It's not just about getting the information out there, right? It's about changing how we think about things.
Okay, yeah, I like that.
Yeah.
So, one of the things that really stuck out to me is that idea that everything's always changing. Not just the world, but our relationships with people too. Like, people come into our lives and they leave, and that can be really hard.
It is. It's about realizing that being alone isn't the same as being lonely. When we're by ourselves, that's when we can look inside and figure out who we really are. You know what I mean? It's like that plant, what is it, aloe,
Okay.
that grows in like the desert and gets strong in this crazy hard place.
Yeah. Aloe. Yeah, I see what you mean. So that kind of leads into this whole idea of self-reliance. Like the speech uses this metaphor about a garden. It says that our relationships are these plants that are beautiful and good for us, but we're the gardeners. We got to take care of ourselves.
Exactly. Like you can't just sit around waiting for rain. You got to be ready for when it's dry. Like digging a well before you get thirsty. We have to get strong before the tough times hit us.
It's like being prepared instead of just freaking out when stuff happens.
Right.
And speaking of being strong, the speech talks about how diamonds are made under all this pressure. It makes you think.
For sure. We usually think about pressure being a bad thing, something to avoid. But the diamond thing makes you remember that sometimes the hard times are what make us stronger, more resilient, more valuable. Like Thomas Edison. He didn't fail 10,000 times finding the light bulb. He just found 10,000 ways that didn't work.
Wow. Yeah. He just kept going and learning from what didn't work. It makes you see failure differently for sure. And the speech also talks about how since the world's always changing, we got to be adaptable. Like a tree bending in the wind so it doesn't break.
Yeah, that old Greek guy Heraclitus said, the only thing that's constant is change. We can't fight it. The more we resist, the harder it gets. But if we can learn to go with the flow, be open to new ideas, then we can do really well, even when things are uncertain.
So we've got change, self-reliance, being strong. It's like we're making this toolkit for life, right?
Yeah.
What about changing who we are on the inside? That's a big part of the speech too, right?
You got it. It uses the caterpillar turning into a butterfly to talk about personal growth. It's a beautiful idea, isn't it? Reminds us that we're always changing too, getting rid of old parts of ourselves and becoming something new, something better, something that can fly.
But changing like that isn't always easy, is it? Like the caterpillar has to go through being in the cocoon, and we have challenges and setbacks too. How do we get through those hard times and become the butterflies we're supposed to be?
I think it's about realizing that those hard times, the struggles are actually really important for us to grow. Like the caterpillar in the cocoon, right? It seems so cramped in there, but it needs that time to get strong enough to fly. And then it comes out totally different. A butterfly, we can come out of hard times better too. Stronger, smarter, more capable.
Yeah, it's like the hard times test us and make us better. And the speech says we don't have to just wait for those things to happen to us. We can kind of make our own changes.
Yeah.
Like we can be in charge of how we change, who we become. How do we do that?
I think being self-aware is a big part of it. Looking at what we believe, the habits we have, and asking ourselves, are these things helping me? Are they making me the person I want to be? We got to be honest with ourselves.
Yeah.
Even if it's hard.
So we figure out what's holding us back, right? The things we believe that aren't true, or the stuff we do that sabotages us. But then what? What happens when we hit those roadblocks and we feel stuck?
Yeah.
We're in that cocoon.
Well, the speech says that failing isn't the opposite of success. It's part of it. We have to change how we look at things. See those setbacks as messages, clues about what to do better, like Edison with the light bulb. Imagine if he'd given up before the 10,000th try. Every time it didn't work, he got closer to making it work.
So we fail forward, right? We learn and keep going. And those setbacks, they're just like turns in the road. They can make us even more successful in the end. So we're not just letting change happen. We're using it to make ourselves better. We're like the heroes of our own lives.
That's it. And we decide what success means, People say it's about money or fame. But the speech says we got to look deeper, figure out what matters to us, what makes us happy, what makes us feel good about ourselves. What do we want people to remember us for?
So we got to match our goals with what we care about, right? Live a life that's true to ourselves. Not try to be what other people think we should be. But there's a lot of pressure to fit in, to follow the rules. How do we get strong enough to be ourselves, even when everyone's telling us to be different?
That's where the diamond thing comes in again. The best diamonds are made under huge pressure. It's about knowing. Those challenges are making us into something amazing. Real strength comes from hard times.
So we don't just survive those hard times. We do great, even though they're happening. We use them to become even stronger. That's powerful.
It is. It's about believing in ourselves, knowing we can handle anything. It's about remembering we get to choose how we react to things. We can be a victim or we can decide what our life is going to be.
And that's the difference, right? Choosing
Yeah.
to make our lives mean something instead of just letting things happen. But it's easy to get lost in the big picture. How do we actually start doing this stuff every day?
Start small. The speech says that lasting change doesn't happen all at once. It's the little things we do every day that add up over time and change everything.
So not like crazy changes,
Yeah.
just little adjustments that make a big difference. What are some examples? Like tiny steps we can take to become more resilient. Yeah, it's like we're building momentum, right? Like
Yeah.
those little things can really push us forward.
That's it. Like working out. You don't start lifting a car. You start with small weights and then you get stronger. You can do the same thing with getting stronger in life, making good changes.
Okay, so like what are those small weights? What can we start doing today that will make a difference?
It could be like setting a tiny goal for yourself every day and doing it even if you don't feel like it. Or trying something that scares you, even if you don't know if it'll work. Or maybe just deciding to learn from a mistake instead of letting it get you down.
I get it. Those small choices, they add up over time. It's like we're training our minds to be strong so we can face anything.
Exactly. And we always have the power to choose how we react to things. We can let things happen to us or we can take control.
That's a good reminder. It's about making our own lives, not waiting for someone else to do it. But we don't have to do it alone, right? The speech talks about how important community is. Having people around us who support us.
Yeah, totally. We need people cheering us on, people who believe in us and push us to be better. And we can learn so much from other people too, right? Like read books or listen to podcasts or talk to people who are living the way we want to live. Their stories can help us so much.
So we build this group of people who get it, who are on the same journey as us. We're all in this together.
And we got to be thankful for the journey, for the good times and the bad times and the things we learn along the way. We got to find the joy in it all.
It's so easy to forget that, isn't it? When we're busy, we forget to just appreciate what's happening right now.
Being grateful isn't just about feeling good. It helps us focus on what we have instead of what we don't have. It helps us fight off fear and doubt.
This has been awesome. We really dug deep into this speech and found the best parts, the stuff that can really help us.
I think so too. I hope everyone listening feels like they can use this stuff in their own lives. Because it only works if we actually do something with it.
Right.
Make those small changes and see how they make our lives better.
Yeah, listening isn't enough. We have to go out and do it, even if it's scary. And remember that all those twists and turns are part of the journey.
So for everyone listening, what's one little thing you can do today? One thing that will help you be the best you can be.
That's a great question. Everyone think about that. Write it down. Tell a friend. Don't let yourself forget. Because even a tiny step can make a big difference if you keep taking it.
So go out there, embrace the journey. You've got everything you need to make your life amazing.
That's it for this deep dive. We'll be back soon for more wisdom and inspiration. Until then, keep learning, keep growing, and keep being the best you can be.
See ya.